Hello, Unlimited friends. Today I have an exciting question from Tasneem. Her question is, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? How does that relate to, or how does law of attraction explain this phrase? Before I get into it, let me introduce myself to those of you who are new on my channel. Hi, my name is ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com. I'm the author of 12 books on the subject of law of attraction. And on this channel, I want it to be easy, find easy ways to apply law of attraction to our lives in order to become powerful manifestors. All right, let's get into Tasneem's question. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But learning has nothing to do with age. Learning has to do with interest. Think about the scores of children who go to school and well-meaning teachers and parents try and teach them things that the child has no interest in. And that's why you teach it to them, but it's gone. It's forgotten. Over the summer holidays, it is erased. But when a child is interested in a project, when they want to do it, that's when they remember everything about it. I remember being interested in the Egyptian civilization, the mystery of it, the pyramids, so exciting that I remember things that I learned in school about the Egyptian civilization, but I don't remember calculus because I was not interested. It does not have to do with age. How many people learn how to play the guitar when they're much older, and piano and all sorts of musical instruments? How many people learn how to paint when they're much older and make beautiful things, crafting? A lot of people get into crafting after they're retired. So if you can't teach an old dog new tricks, then they should not have the ability to learn. Here's what happens. The secret, or the thing that prevents people from learning when they're older, is that they've got resistance going on. Think about it. The internet came about not when I was a baby. I wasn't born into the internet age, but I know how to use it because I've been open to learning about it. I've learned to create a business online. If I wasn't open to learning, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I see examples of so many people who are resistant to learning online banking. Forget about running a business online, right? And then you have newborn babies still in the cradle who know exactly what to do with an iPad. They know exactly how to use a smartphone. They know how that camera works. I remember my son, when he was 18 months old, being able to use a camera. And I was still figuring it out. Here's the thing. When children are younger, they are connected to source. It's a pure connection with no resistance in between, no blockages. Their line of communication with source is open, and they are open to receiving. So when a baby looks at a smartphone and says, I would like to use it, the information that they want in order to use it comes to them like a huge download. It's right there. It lands in their heads and they know exactly what to do. Not because they're thinking about it, but because they're receiving the information from source and they're able to use it right away. But as we get older, we become resistant because life shows us so much contrast, and all of us are not good at dealing with that contrast right away. Certainly myself learned how to use all of this stuff much later in life, after I'd made a lot of mistakes. But then I was able to learn, and I was able to become more allowing, which enables me to keep learning new things. But for someone whose life has not been going the way they want it to, What that means is that they've got a lot of resistance going on. They've got blockages. Blockages where? Blockages in their communication line with source. Because if they had a clear line of communication, they would receive the guidance that is always there for them. The only reason they're not listening to it is because they've got blockages. And because they're not receiving it, they're not allowing that guidance, they don't make good decisions about their life. They don't have access to the information that gives them intuitive information about how to do things better, what to say, how to decide. And that's why their life slows down. It slows down to the speed at which they can allow. And so everything starts seeming difficult. And for those people who live their lives, and there are so many people out there who live their lives below the worry line, meaning they live mostly in a place of blame or guilt or some form of negative emotion is dominant. Fear is dominant in their life. Fear of what's going to happen to me tomorrow. Fear of what if this thing that I want doesn't happen. Worry, fear, anxiety, anger, blaming other people, blaming things outside of them for the way their life is unfolding. Those people who live their life below the worry line, they have resistance or blockages. What do those blockages consist of? Those blockages consist of negative beliefs. Negative beliefs that prevent them from receiving the information that they need in order to improve their lives. A child, a baby, does not have those negative beliefs. A child says, I would like to use a smartphone, and the information that they need for doing so comes to them from source. A grown-up who no longer believes that all things are possible, who thinks that things are hard, who thinks that online learning is hard, who thinks that they can't trust people because people have manipulated or misused them in the past. All those negative beliefs of things that are real and have happened to them but did not need to happen to them, those things only happen to them because of their expectation that the probability of things going wrong was higher than the probability of things going right. And if you think that way, if you expect more things in your life to go wrong, they will. And if you expect things in your life to go right, they will. But unfortunately, for a lot of people with age, they accumulate a lot of negative beliefs. They no longer believe that all things are possible. They no longer believe that the future can be better than the past. They no longer believe that things are always working out for them. And when they don't believe in those things, they don't have access to information. They don't have access to their own guidance. And when you are able to remove all of those cobwebs and have a clear communication channel with the universe, you not only keep learning, but learning is fun. And it is exciting to learn the next thing, to be able to grow. As someone said, I don't remember who it was, but I think it might have been Dr. Wayne Dyer. I was listening to another teacher and they said, if you are not growing, you are dying. And isn't that true? Look at it from the point of view of a plant. If a plant, whether it's a tree or a bush or a flower, if it isn't growing, it is dying. And so where does growth come from? Growth comes from being open to learning new things. That is why one of the affirmations in the 40-day Law of Attraction workout is, I am open to new ways of thinking and doing. Because when we are open, when we ask ourselves to be open, when we remind ourselves that it is a good thing to be open, that is when we can challenge the old ways of doing things and give up those ways of doing things that no longer serve us. Learn new things, new ways of doing things. And so, an old dog can't learn new tricks just as easily as a puppy cannot learn new things, new tricks, if the puppy is stubborn, resistant to learning, resistant to thinking that all things are possible. Because when you think all things are possible and someone says, here, learn this, or you look at something and you say, I wish I could do that, in that moment, you also see the possibility that it is going to be. It is possible. You can do it. But if you don't have that mindset, then you're going to look at that same situation and say, it's impossible. But life is all about possibilities, and law of attraction is all about believing that all things are possible. We have to believe in that in order to start using the power of our thoughts to change our future. So I leave you with those thoughts on this subject. I hope you had fun listening, watching, and I hope that you will visit my channel again. Tasneem, thank you for your powerful question. I hope that I was able to respond to it in a manner that makes sense to you. And I would love more questions. So please keep sending those questions to me. Take care until I see you in my next video. So before you leave, remember to like and subscribe. Bye for now.